Have you ever been live before?
No,
It's pretty fun.
first time.
Okay,
I
we're
actually
live.
don't have Facebook.
We're here. We're doing
Okay.
it. Um, Sometimes I like to wait a minute to see if anyone pops on. And then I joke about like how we only have one or two people. But we get a good chunk. So 1 second here. And then I like to look at comments too while we're on live. Maybe someone will have a question while you're on here. Would you mind answering questions?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, Kate, we have 2 viewers. Let's begin.
All right.
Hi, everybody. We're back live. And I'm Jackie, Communications Marketing Coordinator at Minidapt. And I'm really excited because today I have Kate with me. She's from St. David Center. She is the Senior Director of Treatment and Foster Care. And she's going to tell us everything they do and highlight what your organization does for foster parents, right?
I am.
Okay.
Thanks for having us today, Jackie.
You're welcome.
As you said, I'm Kate Rickard. I work at St. David Center in our foster care area, in addition to supporting some of the Quality Parenting Initiative Minnesota work that launched in October of 2017 here. And so Minidopt asked for someone to come and just talk a little bit about fostering. This is Foster Care Month. And so I was happy because I would have to say that the role of working with foster parents has been an unexpected, pleasant surprise. When I originally started out working, it was much more in therapy with kids and families, and kind of landed my way over to St. David Center in foster care. And really, what's kept me for the last 9 years has been around working with families, both the foster families, but also the kids that are in their care, and then the families that are connected to those kids who are in care. So for our fostering, we really want to, look at how do we best support parenting. Oftentimes, way back when, I think fostering kind of had a bad rap around like the kid needs a bed, they need some food, we need them to be stable, and then we'll figure out how to get them back to their family. And I would say that the culture and the landscape is really trying their best to change that, to look at this as an opportunity for kids and families to build a stronger network within their community, for foster families to be able to be part of that healing journey, not only for the kid in their care, but looking also at their extended family. And so that has been a wonderful experience for me working as a staff in foster care. I've really appreciated watching families walk alongside each other. I just remember there was one Christmas Eve where we had a child who'd been in our care before and needed to come back. And I called up a foster parent, and then, I'm like, hey, can we bring them over today? And it was like, yes, please do. Like, we will figure this out. The more the merrier. Like, we'll grab another plate, and they're happy to join us.
That's
And
great.
that spirit, I think, is so awesome to have witnessed and to be a part of in my role as a staff wanting to support families. I think another thing that we've really learned along the way is that, lived experience and those, who hold wisdom because they've gone through it are really the best to help those learn about it. And so one of the things that, at our organization, we've switched up a bit is that when we have families who do their initial training, so all foster families come in, regardless of where you go to get licensed, you have to do initial training. And one of the ways that we've switched up our training is to have some of our more seasoned foster parents be part of the training, to be able to give like real life examples of when we're talking about children's mental health, or we're talking about, child development or attachment. Um, I can talk about it from a lens of, some of my own parenting experiences, or that of like what I know from research. But foster parents can come in and be like, and this is what it really looks like. And it's still really enjoyable, and you should be doing this in your work. And so I would say that's been a super big benefit for us. Plus, it also starts to build some of that informal networking and support system that foster families need with each other. You end up having, mentors and people you can go to and talk to. And there's really great resources in our community to want to be able to support foster families to be successful, because we're not just talking about success of like, did this work or not, but you're really talking about success of like, did I feel okay? Did this child feel okay? You know, do their parents feel okay? And so there weighs a little bit more. And so we want to be able to build that through things such as mentoring, and connecting to those who have some of that experience, and navigate it in a way, that peer-to-peer understanding is really quite critical, I think. And it's, you know, I hope to see that more and more within our foster community.
Fantastic. I love it. Do you have anything else to share? I love everything you did. I love it.
What else could we share? I would say, you know, at the heart of fostering really is kids and families and relationships. And so the more that we can remember that, it's not about compliance or paperwork. Those are parts and required parts, obviously. But you know, folks go into this because of wanting to be able to support. You know, oftentimes we've heard families say, well, my family, you know, my grandma or my auntie was doing foster care. It just wasn't formally called that, right? Like she was the home that the kids came to from the community. You know, there was, you know, folks who would maybe like be there when they needed an extra support or an extra hand and then move forward. And so for a lot of families who come into this work, it's around kind of an experience that they've maybe had, either in this informal way that I just mentioned, or in a more formal way, whether it was their own family, or that, you know, this feels kind of driven to support our community and wanting to care for those who are around us and connected to us. And you know, I just think that's a cool piece. And of course, there are hard parts, right? Like I'm highlighting in this 5 minutes, the, you know, parts that, you know, are kind of rejuvenating. But working together in pain is also can be really rewarding and healing. And so I don't want to, you know, undermine that doesn't happen and that there aren't things that are hard. But I do think collectively we're trending in a place that really can offer each other support, and, you know, bear witness to how everybody can bring something to this table, even if it's not full on formal fostering. How could somebody support a foster parent, or, you know, if it's like extra meals, or like, yes, I'd love to take the kid to the swim classes because you got to bring someone somewhere else. You know, there's just a way that we can really bring that spirit in together.
Absolutely. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm going to put the link to your website in the comments so people can go check you out. Does that sound
Yeah,
okay?
that would be great.
Awesome. So Kate, I don't see any questions, but we've had about maybe up to 10 people. So, and I'm hoping we get more watches throughout the day. And then that's all I've got. And I really appreciate you taking the time to be with me today, Kate.
Yeah, anytime.
Yeah. So again, everyone, I'm going to link their website in the comments. So go check them out. And I think that's that.
All right. Well, thank you for what you guys do too.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks for joining us for this month's Minute Out Minute, everybody. And we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.